and then it's events preceding superhero,
like after superhero,
but not necessarily end of Z. Still, is basically what we're getting at.
Right.
But here's the kicker that I'm sure he's gonna love. I'm gonna do a pose for you, and if you guess what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to mean, I know you're gonna dismiss the shit out of this, but this is for the people so that they can see your reaction to this. Ready? Remember, Goten and Trunks. They're the main characters. Even though they did say Piccolo and Gohan were gonna be involved, right? But so ready?
How do I know? How the fuck did I know that was coming?
Oh, that's that good shit.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ooch. I'm here with my brother Ooch and the homie Kai, and we are back again, once again. How y'all doing today, boys? Children of all ages, the trifecta is here. Oh wait, I gotta give you the. Okay, brother Ooch, take it away.
How are we doing, fellas?
Yes, sir. Wait. Oh, there it is. Okay, I had to find the button to shut it off. The thing that sucks about this is it doesn't like have a fade out. There's no option for that. The Go XLR does though, however, which is also made by similar people that made this. I don't know. Anyway, besides the point. Bro, Luce, how you doing today, sir?
I'm all right. Thought I had a car appointment today, but I guess not.
It's good to have you back.
But you know, we're good.
Yes.
Ready.
Kai-san, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Okay, very good, because we have some shit to talk about today. And when I say shit, I mean, oh man, we got some shit to talk about today. All right, I'm sure you're aware, because I know you be looking on Twitter. But brother Ooch, not only did you miss out last week, right? But there is some good news. Some good news. Slightly, for you it's slightly, but generally good news, right? But yeah, before we get into these topics, guys, of course, shout outs to the Patreon. Thank you for the support. And always, if you want your comments, or not just comments, questions, concerns, and all that stuff, but if you want to hear your name shout out at the end of these, check us out over on the Patreon. You get extra episodes as well. Some good ones up and coming, so look out for those. And then with your comments, questions, concerns, business inquiries, or fan art, hit us over on fullpowerpod@gmail.com. That's fullpowerpod@gmail.com. And also the dying, set on fire Bluebird, because Twitter is is crazy over there.
It needs Goku's help, man. He's got to bring him back.
Dude, everybody, Hercule needs to come in and be like, help out the Twitter, everybody. I'm the champ. Fucking bullshit, right? But yes, formalities out of the way. The topics for today's episode. So I wanted to just quickly kind of catch you up on what you missed out on last week, which is not too much. It's probably gonna take us a couple minutes. And then the main shit, I'm sure we'll be able to fill out the rest of this damn episode because it's substance based. So last week, Brandon, I saw another fan-made work.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I was telling our boy Kai about it. And basically, it was a fan-made animation that was an alternate version of the superhero movie, right? So the funny part is, and I pretty much realized this, is that this film seems to be like the film that people were expecting. So you can kind of get where I'm going with this, right?
Okay.
So without me telling, because I'm about to tell you anyway, but without me telling you what actually happens, do you want to make any predictions? Think back to all the shit we were predicting before we knew exactly what happened in the movie. Do you want to guess what happens in this superhero film, this fan-made work?
As far as predictions, I guess I'll just hit it off and probably say Cell Max, comes out of his shell or whatever the fuck, and then is able to absorb both of them. Both, and then and then becomes perfect. You know.
There it is.
The real perfect shit. Perfect Cell, you know. And then, I mean, I'm assuming Gohan still gets his transformation at some point during the film.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
assuming.
Technicality. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, probably gets his transformation, and then they duke it out. But I don't know if I don't know if the guy actually makes him KO him himself.
So we don't even know that either, because actually I forgot to mention this. It wasn't the actual movie yet, because the movie's not finished. It was a teaser trailer, right? So I reacted to the trailer, talked about it with Kai, and we of course reiterated that here's one of the reasons why we don't invest ourselves into these fan-made shits, because it can be bonkers. And here's where it gets bonkers, right? So you basically hit the nail on the head with Cell Max, right? Cell Max Pro, sure, right? Call him that, because he absorbed the gammas, right?
Yeah.
That was something that everyone thought was going to happen. 2 androids, it's a callback, right?
Makes sense.
Right? Didn't happen. However, the one thing that we figured was going to happen was Gotenks. So in this one, you actually, there's a fat version, but there's also what we expected.
Okay.
Right? Didn't fucking happen. But Gotenks seems to play more of a active role in this film, which is cool, right? We go over to where like Goku, Vegeta, Broly, right, on Beerus's planet, and it seems like Beerus has more of an involvement, which is weird, because it looks like Kai, can you think back to any singular point in time when Beerus fist bumped any of them? Like, is that very Beerus-like?
Like teamwork fist bump?
Have you ever had have you seen this man teamwork fist bump?
Nah, he's never done that shit.
Yo, this. Okay, so the fucking shit starts off. It's Goku, Broly, Vegeta, and Beerus, and they're all like,
okay.
They all share a 4-way fist bump. I'm like, what? All right, we're in the fan territory, okay?
Before like a sparring session.
So
yeah.
So that happens, right? And of course, they insert Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, and a controlled, powered up Broly, which was nice to see, right? I don't know why Beerus is involved in this, but whatever. Part of the training, sure, that's fair, whatever. But then we go back to the Gohan stuff. So it's Cell. Mans go Super Saiyan 4.
Oh, Gohan?
Gohan.
Why?
Yes. That's the big question, which I do have an answer for. So, much like how with Nasir, the creator reached out to me and saw my reaction, thanked me for reacting, reviewing it, right? Breaking it down. Nice person, right? This is a work by Blue Animation Studio. I don't know if the studio's in there, but Blue Animation. My critique of the whole entire work was the animation clean. It looks good. It's crisp. It's colorful. It's nice, right? No problems with that. My qualms are with the plot. That what we're seeing, right?
The plot.
Right? So like Cell Max shit, fine. Gotenks shit, absolutely fine. But Super Saiyan 4 was my huge what the fuck moment
If he's going based off of the superhero film, he probably should just stuck with Beast.
But here's the thing. So here's the answer. So he actually gave me the reason why he had Gohan go Super Saiyan 4. And it's because the film started its production like with how, you know, he pretty much storyboarded or whatever. He basically started coming up with all this shit prior to the movie even coming out. So this means that this was before we knew of Beast. So he assumed, which he was correct on, that there was gonna be a Gohan transformation, right? He used context, clues, common sense. It's Dragon Ball. They always get fucking new forms, right? So he's like, well, Gohan's definitely gonna get something new. So he figured, I'll just give him Super Saiyan 4. So when you put into context, when you hear the author notes, I'm like, okay,
But not Super Saiyan 4.
I know, right? At that point, I would have been like, just fucking do something on your own, you know, like do an original shit, if anything. And honestly, it's not like Gohan Blanco doesn't already exist in the fan space. Gohan Blanco, that dude, when Beast came out, everyone referred to that shit. Yo, he actually went Blanco. So that's what you missed out last week.
Okay.
We're basically talking about that, and then we went to talking about like other fan stuff, and that was relatable because, you know, it's really about like what makes us appreciate anything that is, you know, fan made is if they have an understanding of the characters and you know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but you know, the person was super nice, and I love that, you know, because I basically like I wasn't rude when I was like saying what I had to say about it, because I was just very like, what's happening, right? But very critical. Someone that can take constructive criticism, okay? I appreciate people like that, because then it makes the whole interaction so much more smooth. And I was super. I was like, thank you for actually telling me, like, even like the reasoning why you decided to do certain things makes perfect sense. Because at the end of the day, it's fan work, right? They're trying to show off the animation, and I already said, like, off rip, I was like, animation's fire. Ain't gotta worry about that. You know, we got talented people in the fandom. And then we also talked about the did I tell you that Geekdom has been putting out like 1080p fucking versions of Dragon Ball Z?
Kind of.
Yeah, so basically that's what that's the territory now. The other fan shit is that we're taking what's out and we're doing Toei's job for them again. You know, because we're the marketing team. You know what I'm saying? We handle it all. So anyway, moving on to what's actually new. Are you ready for this? Why don't you tell him, Kai? Okay. All right, fine. I'll tell him.
Must be bad. Must be bad.
Okay. I'm going to sit up for this one. All right. So, the manga's coming back.
Super?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is why I wanted you to tell him. So go ahead. Tell him. He said, no. Okay. So Brandon, the manga's returning December 20th this year, next month, right? Do you want to guess where they're going to start the story?
Do I get like hints?
If I give you a hint,
I get it.
You're yes. I can't give you a hint.
Is it something we've talked about?
I guess, right?
Is it something that we
Yeah.
don't want to happen? Oh shit.
Yeah. It's an impromptu.
Is it something that starts with a GT?
No.
Okay, I got that one out the fucking door. Okay.
He said, does it start with GT? Imagine that shit. GT Dragon Ball Super. Fuck out of here. That shit would be crazy.
I'm assuming we're not getting I wish I call it. Well, I'm assuming we're not fast forwarding to like current time, or like, you know, okay, so another arc is coming. That's not where we want it to be.
I hit both buttons.
I mean, I don't know what arc it could be though.
So
we talked
yo.
Wait, no one. So we never talked about.
No one saw what was happening coming.
Okay.
Nobody.
So I guess you can.
Not a single fucking person. Not a single leaker. Not a single content creator. Not a single soul on this planet could have fucking foresaw what we're getting next month. Starting next month.
New villain.
I doubt it. And if it is, bro, if we do,
So no new villain, but a new arc is coming.
we should say no new viable villain. How about that, right?
So it's a filler.
You're gonna deem it as a filler.
Filler arc.
Should I tell him now? Okay. The arc doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name yet. We don't know what it's called. But the protagonists of this arc are Goten and Trunks. So that's a good thing. But where it takes place and what happens in this arc, it's a prelude to superhero. then it's going through superhero.
So we're gonna see it again.
Possibly. Maybe little
I hope
bits.
they skip that shit.
And then it's events preceding
After,
superhero.
Like after superhero.
But not necessarily end of Z still is basically what we're getting at.
Right.
But here's the kicker that I'm sure he's gonna love. I'm gonna do a pose for you. And if you guess what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to mean, I know you're gonna dismiss the shit out of this, but this is for the people so that they can see your reaction to this. Ready? Remember, Goten and Trunks. They're the main characters. Even though they did say Piccolo and Gohan were gonna be involved, right? But so ready?
How do I know? How the fuck did I know that was coming? Ginyu.
No, not Ginyu. But basically, they have, I'm gonna pull up the picture for you. They announced, well, first of all, it wasn't even an official announcement, even though it is from an official source. The leak that came out was early pages of V-Jump. And V-Jump, as we know, reports on the things that are about to come out. It's an actual magazine, and it comes out every month. So, essentially, check this out. They're in superhero costumes.
You know what? I actually did see that on Twitter, but I didn't pay any mind to it. I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at, so I just kept scrolling.
Right. So yeah. So basically, that's the news. It's that the manga is coming back, but it takes place before superhero, during and after, basically. So we're not really progressing far, and I'm pretty sure this is only gonna act as one of those really short arcs. Like, this might not last long.
But the anime is not coming back still.
Well, we don't have any official. Well, actually, we do have something from about the anime as far as like it's like
starting
it's
point.
Yeah, like we actually, that's the other thing we could talk about too, was that the anime is coming back next year. That hasn't been officially announced either, but that's what people have been talking about. But yeah, we'll get into that after. But really quick, I just want to talk about this manga. So like, Kai, I need your thoughts. I need to know exactly what you think of this, how you think this is gonna go, and I just want to know, because of course we save all of our Dragon Ball conversations for this fucking podcast on purpose.
I mean, honestly, if the Goten and Trunks are starting out, right?
No, well, we don't know how it's gonna start.
But they're gonna be the main characters.
That's what it seems like.
Well,
they're front and center.
If they're gonna be the main characters, then it's before superhero and during and then after. They ain't gonna be doing shit beforehand, like before the movie, because they couldn't even fuse correctly. So what the fuck? What have they been doing?
Great points.
Like if they're actually gonna do it in this way, like the first half of the arc is gonna be terrible. Especially if Goten and Trunks are the main characters, because they couldn't fuse correctly during the movie. So with that being said, were they actually training or were they bullshitting? They were probably bullshitting. So, like, I would be more concerned about the aftermath of
Right.
Super,
Yeah.
like superhero movie or whatever during the arc in the manga. Then it might get interesting, but the
yeah.
before and during parts of this is not looking good.
So Kai, fill us in, please.
Yeah, go.
Where you at with this?
Nowhere good. Not trying to be nowhere. This is whatever.
We're not gonna get much substance out of this arc.
So hold on. So when you first guide me through your reaction when you first saw the leak, how did you react initially to this shit?
What the fuck are these niggas wearing right now?
Hit him with the.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is wild. I was like, I know we've been on the Goku Vegeta show for a hot minute, and it's nice to see something else, but still, like that. I don't know if it's really morphin time for these two just yet. I think they need to do something else. I think the things that we were looking forward to are not gonna happen, because that'd be too fucking good to be true, right? Welcome to Dragon Ball.
Right.
I feel like since they're starting before the superhero movie, that pisses me off even further, because it's that much longer I have to wait to see
100%.
Gotenks the proper way.
That's also true.
100%. That was
Like,
bullshit.
oh my god. Yeah.
This is why I'm
So-
saying.
I don't know. That's I really don't see any positives yet. Like I feel like I gotta wait. Like I gotta wait through the whole arc and then maybe a second whole arc before they do what we're all looking for.
Frieza, free. Yeah.
I don't know. This is why I say there's not gonna be much substance. Like, especially if it's unless they do it really quickly and briefly, like within the first 3 months.
Yo, I was just gonna say this shit better be 3 chapters long, and he said 3 months. That's 3 chapters. That's pretty fucking on point.
Like within the first 3 months, like they better get. Within the first 2, they better get through like the during part of superhero, if that's where this is actually leading, because no one's trying to sit through a whole fucking year of a pointless ass arc with no substance to get to the aftermath of superhero, to see their growth. If that's what they're trying to do, if they're trying to grow these two, then they have to do it properly, and they have to.
They didn't though. They were basically useless in even in the Cell Max fight. Like
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why we're not gonna have substance until the aftermath of like the superhero movie in itself.
Man.
Like because then at that point, then they can like grow them as characters or whatever, and they can take training seriously depending on who they train with. I'm assuming probably Piccolo and maybe Gohan. He's not fucking studying.
That's the thing, because based on everything that we've seen so far, there really isn't any actual evidence that would suggest that neither Gohan or Piccolo was actually working with them even prior to Superhero, because the only thing that we know that they were involved in prior to Superhero was when they weren't present during Tournament of Power. What were they doing? They were watching over 17's fucking island of animals,
Right.
fighting Cell Juniors and shit, and in the process. And after that, we don't see them until Superhero. So like, we don't even know how far along back we're gonna go for these two.
Yeah,
Like I would say, like prediction wise, right? This is me predicting. It would be nice if we saw moments that were kind of like mini time skips, so we see their growth spurt happen. Because they from on their on-screen presence, they go from their child forms, right, that we've seen since Z, and then next thing you know, they're older. Trunks got the fucking the fucking jacket on and shit. Goten's hair's growing out. He looking like he's working at a fucking like kung fu restaurant or some shit like that, right? Like they have clearly aged, and they make the joke even in the movie, like, oh yeah, like Saiyans, they just have these crazy growth spurts. And
honestly, I wouldn't mind if like during their growth period, whenever the fuck that started happening, like in this arc, I wouldn't mind if like what was I gonna fucking say? I wouldn't mind if they like if they fucked up the fusion during the movie because like their individual growth has like actually like they've gotten stronger or something like that, like for the aftermath, if you know what I'm saying. Like, do you believe, because I mean we got fat go tanks, so like they ain't at full power in that mode.
No.
So like so we don't know on an individual standpoint how strong they actually are.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And super movie.
yeah, when that happened, like that was clear. I mean, the context of that story is as such. They literally said like, "Oh, we haven't done this in a long time." So like, okay, I'm like, and this is why I can totally understand where Kai's coming from, because why the fuck are we doing this? Like,
why are we doing
out of all the things we could do, right? Out of all the angles we could take it from, even if they wanted to do some previous to superhero bullshit, like they could look at any character, even though, funny enough, fans, ourselves included, would love to see characters like Goten and Trunks get more sunshine and light and all that kind of stuff, right? But not here. Okay,
Not like this.
not like this. Like this is like this is just another example of stalling tactic. Like they're writing new things for this, don't get me wrong, but it's not much. Like how you said,
hot garbage.
it's not. It's literally how like this man put it, where there's not going to be any real substance. It's just going to be more for like entertaining, more jokes. I'm sure it's going to be way more comedy involved, and like
I can't stand that.
So there's a few takeaways from this, or yeah, like three at least, right? The first thing with how Gohan and Piccolo are going to be involved. So if they're gonna tell us, okay, this is a prelude to superhero during and after, sure, okay. And if Gohan and Piccolo are gonna be in it, outside of any of the superhero stuff that they inject, whether it's super quick like they did with like the Broly stuff, I think that we might see when Gohan was actually training to do the Masako Senpo, right? The Makanko Senpo, right? That would be all right, I guess, right? Piccolo, I can just see like training a younger version of Pan.
Maybe. Yeah,
okay,
like that.
right? If they're gonna have like those like different instances taking place all at the same time, like while it's still focused on Goten and Trunks, and then like for after superhero stuff, I can definitely see the reason why. Like, why are they even in these fucking superhero outfits, right? I can see them being like, after the events, they look to the Gammas and they see how like the one fell, and they're like, they take inspiration from them, so that's why they take on the garments. And I'm sure Goten would probably be like having an epiphany, like, oh yeah, my brother was a superhero too. So it's like they have all this fucking, so it's like they have all this reasoning. They have it's in their family, right? They're fucking, literally it's in the family. The older brother was already there. He had the mantle, right? Great Saiyaman. Now they see more superheroes. So usually this is the other weird thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there not a scene in Super when it was during one of those filler episodes, and when it was like the Great Saiyaman shit, when we saw Great Saiyaman again, you were so thrilled for that one, right? Like, wasn't there a part where like at the end of all of that, they go see the movie that there was some superhero movie that was going on, and then Goten comes out of the theater and he's like, oh, this was really lame. Well, didn't he say that? Or was it Goku? Someone said that, and I feel like it was Goten, because and then Gohan was like, oh, like, I thought of all people, you would have thought it was cool because like you're a little kid or whatever. Like, kids love superheroes and shit. Because, you know, he was like, you know, Great Saiyaman. So my point, I bring that all up, right, is because sometimes with like youth and people in general, like they'll be into something, they'll think something is cool, then they'll grow up a little bit, and then they won't think it's cool anymore. But then they think it's cool again, right? So I feel like Goten and Trunks are like gonna be going through that at the same time. Like they're taking everything into account. They're like, wow, my brother was a hero. Now we have these two other heroes that were super strong who gave Gohan, Piccolo, and all of them a hard time. But then they ended up actually being real superheroes. So they're like, wow, we could be superheroes now type shit. And I know that this is like, why are we even contemplating this in fucking Dragon Ball right now? I totally get that. It totally makes sense. It's not something I want to see, but this is the sense I'm making out of it. And the other last bit of this that I noticed that, of course, didn't see anyone else talking about it. Trunks' hair color. It's transitioning to blue. But what doesn't make sense is that if I line up that with what I just said, the superhero stuff wouldn't make sense to happen before superhero. It would make sense after. So then what the fuck is going on? It looks like it's going back to purple. No, it really does. It's like when you look at the coloring, like even though it was a scan, dude, the hair, he went from purple to blue in the movie. And now it looks like it's going back to purple.
Uchi, I need you to finish the sentence. Things.
Things. I don't know.
Things like hair color
Oh,
don't
stop.
matter.
Stop.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. See,
Apparently.
at this point, honestly, when you look at this shit, at this point, they are doing it on purpose. They're doing it to fuck with us, bro. They're 100% doing that shit to fuck with us. Not just us here on the podcast, but the fans in general. Because, like, when you really think about it, it's like, okay, the majority of the Dragon Ball characters that have hair are all black. There's all black, dark hair. Like, there's a few characters that are bald. Maybe they got blonde or white. Trunks and Bulma are like the few that have like hair color to their shit, right? But Bulma's hair's for the majority always been one color. Majority, right? Her shit has had a little bit of changes through mangas and different that, but Trunks has always had these problems. And seeing how ever since they brought him back in the Goku Black arc with the blue hair, and Bulma just knew that it was him when she was like, did he have blue hair? I'll never fucking forget that shit. I could not believe that they actually did that. Like, that was intentional. They did that on purpose. Fuck them. Why are they doing this and messing with our fucking emotions and intelligence, right? And here he comes. So it's like the kid Trunks. Dude, they even gave us the reason. Remember that? No, scratch that. They gave us the fucking actual reason. They said they wanted people to be able to differentiate the two Trunks. The future and kid.
I remember that shit.
Do you remember that shit?
Oh my god.
Dude,
I remember that shit.
Sometimes it's like they make this shit like they like no, I can't. Like they really
crazy.
they produce this show like everybody is on some special needs type shit for no reason. Like we weren't gonna fucking notice the difference. Kid Trunks is like fucking 3 feet tall.
Deadass.
Future Trunks, bro, are you serious? They had to do that? The hair color to make sure we knew the difference? Get the fuck out of here. And now, after all that, the kid Trunks, that's now adulting finally after zillions of fucking years at this point, his hair is changing. It changed. It went blue. And it's not even like they wrote a story for it either. It's not like in story they gave a reason why his hair is blue. I said this on a podcast episode of here. I was like, it would be nice if he took inspiration from his future self and just dyed his hair and said that. It's like, yeah, future me is so cool, so I wanted to be more like him, which is kind of like being like me, because that's like, whatever, convoluted, right? But the point, they would have, at least for the first time ever in the history of anything, just made sense of it in that way through the story, and I would have appreciated that much, but no. And now it's going back to purple.
Is what it is.
Yo, but wait a minute. I just realized this. What if it's going back to purple? Because when we see Trunks in End of Z, it was purple. Oh my God. I hate this. I can't. We're done. We're done. I have nothing else to say. Because I don't want this episode to turn into a hair episode. Fucking Salon, Dragon Ball Salon. Not Absalon, Salon. The fucking.
Salon. It's crazy.
I can't stand this shit.
Nah.
Okay. The other thing that the anime, right? So the anime that is slated to return next year at some point is another work that they're not like, again, to preface it, there's no official word yet. It's just off of the few Twitter accounts out there that are like reporting these things, that they have inside information and whatnot. They're saying that when this shit comes back, that it's not a direct continuation of Super.
The anime?
Yes.
Not a direct continuation?
No.
What does that mean?
Exactly. What does that mean? It's a great fucking question, right? So what do you think, Kai? What the fuck do you think that means?
I think it means some bullshit.
Not a direct continuation of Super. Of like the movie? Or like the
Of
show?
the show.
Also,
They
gotta name it something
said
different?
they don't think it's going to be a direct continuation of Super, nor will it be an adaptation of the superhero movie. So, it's gonna be some bullshit.
So they're basically just trying to take the story wherever they want at this point?
Probably.
It sounds like because they're not trying to line things up apparently from the sounds of it.
I don't know about lining things up, but I mean, not that they care about that shit anyway, you know? Like,
Well, no, because it's like when you say they're not gonna directly continue from where they kind of left off or whatever, it's like they're trying to scatter, like where like they're trying to scatter certain things, so it's hard to line things up so they can do whatever they want.
right, yeah. I don't.
When you put it that way,
I don't understand why
Like,
they're even.
that doesn't
like
make
this.
that doesn't make sense because it's like so where are you gonna start? Like with the arcs that you have left right now that are done in the manga, like how you gonna say
You
it's
know
not
what?
directly continuing?
What, Kai?
Damn. I was gonna say, you know what? I figured it out. It's Dragon Ball F because this is Frieza's bitch now. Forget it.
Dragon Ball F.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, so
Not directly continuing from the movie or the series.
yeah, so okay, so here's
That's basically like they're not even gonna use the arcs that they have in place from the manga. It's like they're gonna fucking do some random shit, like.
yeah. So all right,
That's not good.
so I asked the people, right? When I made a community post a few days ago on my channel, on the Uchi Gang channel, I asked for the upcoming Dragon Ball Super Weekly anime project in 2023, what would you like to see happen the most, right? 317 people voted, so pretty beefy. And I had 4 options, okay? Because realistically, if this is not a direct continuation, okay, that means that they're gonna possibly take the perspective onto another character, which could take place at any point during any of the events that we've seen thus far. In Super, in Z, whatever the fuck they want, realistically, right? So I put a few possible, probable, popular contenders. The first one, I said Universe 6 Saiyans, which would obviously include Caulifla, Kale, Kaba, and the rest of that universe over there on their planet, right?
Okay.
The second option I put was Jiren, because everybody loves Jiren Pride Troopers, Universe 11, he's strong as shit. What happened after the Tournament of Power for them if they wanted to? You know, that's some cool backstory stuff from a character that was popular. Why not? Sure, Jiren. The third option, actually, I'll leave the third option for last because then I put other so that people could just fill in the blanks for themselves. And this is what got the most votes. 54% of people voted for this option I'm about to name. Out of the 18 that voted for Universe 6 Saiyans, the 15% that voted for Jiren, and then the 13% that voted for other. And mind you, 317 votes. 54% of that, Frieza origin story, okay? Clearly, you can't show us freaking Frieza black Frieza. You can't do that. And then not give us that. Right? So what's the next best thing? If it's gonna not be a continuation, give us the fucking origin of this character and all his people. We want to know. He's been like a prodigy in his own right. Right? For how long? For so fucking long. And now he's back at that pivotal position. Give us Frieza. Right? 54% of 317 people voted for Frieza origin. Rightfully so.
Well, if they're gonna actually do that, they could low-key make it make sense.
Yeah.
After they're done with this arc that would continue from the anime itself. If they're not gonna directly continue from where we left kind of off. Because, like, let's say they do the origin story for him, and then, like, they get to the point where he's Frieza Black and everything, then they technically don't even have to... They could briefly breeze through what's been happening in the manga, like from the arcs that we have, to where he knocks out Ultra Instinct Goku, Ego,
cool.
Vegeta, and then from there on, I mean, I guess at that point they can then decide what they want to do with the super movie, if they want to implement certain parts of it in the manga, or not the manga, the anime.
Yeah.
And then after that, then it's new news. Then they can kind of move how they want, I guess. But if they don't do that, though, then I don't know. They're going to put themselves in a bad spot.
What do you think, Kai?
Nah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, if they don't do that, then they just make it, they doing bad business.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Because at that point, they're just trying to make it harder for themselves. Because if they're going to do an origin story only anime and not implement it manga first, then it's like they're just wasting time. Like they're wasting time, and then it's like they're giving something different an opportunity to arise in the anime outside of manga stuff. Like, because normally we're used to manga first and transitioned into anime.
Yeah.
Not manga into anime, and then they kind of like go in a different direction, like anime to manga.
I just really question why the fuck they are doing the things that they're doing right now. Like, you have to wonder, like, is there some bigger plan? Is there some bigger picture that I'm just not seeing here? Because it's just like their track record is so poor. Like, so poor. It's like I always try to find the good in all of whatever it is that's gonna be given to us with this IP, but it's just like, dude, what are they doing? Like, there's so like even the things that they have done, everybody makes sense of it. Like, okay, well, if they're taking the anime on into hiatus state ever since Super stopped, all right, fine. The manga's going on, right? Cool. The manga continues. We have so many more arcs that take place since the Tournament of Power and Broly, right? Those things happen. They last for literal years, okay? A movie comes out that takes place clearly after said arcs, despite it being written before those two fucking arcs happened. And now you have all this content literally on the table to take from, to just adapt. People have been waiting, dying, fucking patiently, like in anticipation for the arcs that have existed to be animated. That's like the number one thing that all fans in any fandom, especially in anime, are always looking to have happen is if the manga's fire for whatever reason, they want to see it in anime because they want to see it. Like when you have an anime off something, it's like giving that shit its own life. Like it's a living, breathing thing you can like experience. It's not just fucking art on paper, which you could totally do, but not to that level. Anime gives you the fucking emotion. It gives you the music, the like all of the fights and the visuals and the interactions happening in real time, like motion. Like it's a presentation that is like because realistically, when you read a manga, you still have to use your imagination as to how like certain things connect and hits go, and like the action sequences could look so good. And
what color their hair is.
Oh my fucking God. Right? And that's another thing. Like, especially with a show like Dragon Ball Super, they have to, in the writing, they have to make characters basically confirm like, oh, your hair is this color now. Oh, you have another bang on the left. Like, you know, oh, your aura seems to be extra sparkly today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, at some point, that's fine and dandy, but we want to see the shit in real time, color, and all those things. Like, you want to feel all that shit. And you can, like I said, again, you can feel that when you read, but it's not on the same level. It is nowhere near that. And I'm not an anime only guy. I clearly read shit. I clearly watch shit. Like, I don't care, like, if people that listen or watch are anime onlys. That's fine. More power to you. I get it.
Pretty much me.
That's pretty much Brother Ooze right here. Living, breathing example. We provide all angles on the Full Power Podcast, but we got constructive criticism. We make sure. And this right here is the most constructive that we could possibly be. I don't understand why, like, I don't understand what Toei is thinking. What Yoku and all the dudes at that Dragon Ball room are thinking. Like, I'm telling you, I can't see, just like how you said, I cannot see this current manga that's coming out. I can't see that being super substance based. Like, nothing is like, think about it. What the fuck could actually happen within this short ass shit that's gonna wow us? Like, I'm not saying that there's nothing that we won't be able to take from and be like, oh, that was cool. No. What is gonna wow us? Because despite how all over the place the last arc was, dude, that shit had us, our fucking brains was stimulated. Because we were doing that shit for ourselves, thinking of the possible outcomes because they were setting up for certain things, right? You can't give me a picture of Goten and Trunks in fucking cheap Party City Gray Sandman discount fucking costumes and tell me the next arc in Dragon Ball.
I don't know. It made me say wow.
But that's the bad kind of wow. That's not the good wow. We're looking, wow. Oh shit, that's the wow that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the wow.
That's the fucking wow that I want.
He said that's the one.
I don't want the wow. I don't want that one. That one sucks.
Nah, they don't even get a wow. They get a damn. They
Yeah.
get a, what the fuck was
Get
that?
the fuck
What the
Shit.
fuck was that?
Yo, that's true though. Like, it's really like, it's true. So like with the anime, it needs to be something like on the levels of a Frieza origin, or like a perspective of a character that people really liked, and we dive deeper in their perspective. Because honestly, they give us all these universes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But primarily, where are we at? 7. Universe 7. We're always here. So like, why not do something different where they just take it somewhere else? Dragon Ball's that big. It's that big. It's even bigger than what they've presented because what is it? 12 universes, but originally it was like 18. It's like there's so much story to be explored, but yet they want to stay here. Like, it's like, do they really not know? It's like that's how you have to ask.
They don't know how to take, like, because like you said, they're all in Universe 7, so it's like they don't know how to split up the content to jump from one another. I don't know why, but I mean, when you put it that way, that they don't know. It's like they don't know how to take turns.
That is so fucking unacceptable.
We know how.
They have a lot of universes to pick from, but it's like, well, we don't want to see certain ones. We only want to see the one that Jiren's on, universe 11, right?
Yes.
And then what?
6 is where the other Saiyans are.
Okay, so 11 and 6.
And then
fuck all the other ones.
You could maybe say 10 because that's where Gowasu was from, aka Goku Black. That's like pushing it, right? Like after that, I don't care about Riberan. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't. Wasn't really interested. She was funny. Okay, cool, whatever. I got over her mad quick. All right. And that's the thing. The other universes not memorable. It's okay. Yeah, doesn't matter.
They only have to rotate between 7, 11. I don't even know really much about 10, but and then at least 6, and then from there, they have a rotation of 3 until they introduce the other top 4.
Yeah, like if anything, what was the universe that those 3 Wolf brothers were from? Do you remember those motherfuckers?
Man, we don't care about that.
Like
shit.
I don't remember. What was it? Universe 3, 2, 1.
They were 9.
Oh, 9. See what I mean? Like. There was a lot of characters clearly introduced through the Tournament of Power because they gave us a shitload of fucking universes in one arc.
Right.
But like, and that's the thing. Think about how your brain works as a human being. You're going to remember the shit that stood out the most. Okay? Barely remember the other Namekians because they got washed. They literally did not do anything super significant. They were dealt with. Off camera they go, right? Who were the focus points? The Pride Troopers, Jiren, Kale and Caulifla, Kaba, Frieza, Frost, Hit. Notice all these characters in the universe that we named.
6 and 11.
6 and 11.
Yeah, they could easily use either of those. But if they're not gonna use them, then they better do a fucking Frieza origin, I guess. Because they're not gonna make sense of anything after that to then progress into what content we do have
exactly
that they can pick from the manga.
Exactly.
So I mean, they're gonna fuck themselves over.
That's why, dude. I'm literally just like, it's.
Like, I don't know who's the brain over there, but I mean, shit.
So here's a fun tidbit, right? So Kai, I'm gonna correct myself. Last week I said when we were talking about GT, right? I said that Toriyama only did character designs, right? And then like approvals, right? There's more to the story, right? That of course I'm learning so much even in 2022 about everything with this shit, right? And of course, this goes back to Geekdom because he did a video on this 5 fucking years ago and he reposted it because apparently it's the GT anniversary or some shit, right? So shout outs. And I didn't get to finish all of it, but there's a part where he literally confirms that Toriyama did all the character design, so I was right on about that, right? But then he also greenlit the storylines. So yes, Toei wrote them, but he said okay.
Yeah.
He said okay.
That's why I said when I was an adult, I was like weirded out because I was like, I found that shit out and I was like, well, how it's in this weird gray area of being canon versus non-canon because like I said, like he didn't write it, but it had his approval. Like he had his hands on that shit before it got printed. So
yeah, like
I don't know how you sign something like that.
I know.
Yo,
I know.
It's because he was already over it at that point.
man,
it's-
but if it's still under your name and shit, bro, like take
You
it to
don't,
heart.
bro. It's free money. It's free money to write your signature.
Man, I could have got more money if like it was produced correctly or like wrote differently.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
but then you gotta put work in. But then you gotta put work in yourself, and that's not what he was willing to do.
Man,
at the time.
but if fuck it.
Yo, and also, and wait. To add to that, Toriyama, remember, the Dragon Ball was not his only shit. He was working for doing character designs for Dragon Quest and doing other projects. Like, Mans was always doing something. Like,
no one cares about Dragon Quest.
oh no, hold on, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna insult Dragon Quest fans.
Dragon
I played the first one, fun game. I liked it. I plan on playing the second one, okay? And I also played Blue Dragon, which Toriyama also did the character designs for.
I kind of like Blue Dragon
Yes, you did.
Yo, Blue Dragon
when I
was
think
fire.
about it. I never watched it. Was there?
There was an anime, yes.
The anime was fire.
Yeah, I never watched it. I never
That shit
finished the
didn't
anime.
last long though.
It was short. It's like 20-something
No.
episodes.
Yeah,
Nah, it
that's
was
why I
like
didn't
50
invest
something.
myself.
Oh, it's more? Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
It was
nah.
really good.
I never invested myself into
Yeah, I think what the name was main character's name was like Shu or some shit like that. SHU.
Yeah.
And he
I'm pretty sure the nigga from he looked like kind of Goku is. I don't know.
of course, it's Toriyama.
He kinda
because
looked like
it's
Goku.
Toriyama.
Dude, Toriyama literally has a very certain style that if you look at all his characters that he's ever created,
You know.
you can mix and match. Like there's a character in the party of the Blue Dragon shit that literally looks like he's wearing a Great Saiyan Man outfit. Literally.
See, but like at the
gotta
same
overcome.
time, you could be doing all this work, right? Like this side work. I'm gonna put it in.
Oh, side work. he
Because
says.
it is. Because when you look at his fucking shit that he has, Dragon Ball is like 90%.
Wow, Brandon, that's okay. That's a bold ass claim.
It is. Because look at the productivity that fucking Dragon Ball brings in.
It's
that
a world
the other
icon, a phenomena. Yes, I get that.
Exactly. No one's fucking the Blue Dragon shit is not up there like Dragon Ball is. Like, what are we talking? Dragon Quest? The fuck?
Okay, so
What are we talking about?
out of fairness, I feel like next week we should do an episode. Whether it's next week or another or future, we should go through all of Toriyama's work, like just like on a list,
Yeah.
right?
Pie chart.
Pie
chart.
and yo, group it from
Pie chart.
importance.
Important.
So Dragon Ball, of course, will be right up here. His chart it literally be
It would be-
90% red. Dragon Ball.
And then his other shit, 10% altogether.
Wow, that's actually funny as hell. But yeah, that would be an interesting.
Like
Conversation.
Like unless one of no.
But yo, but
Dragon
the
Ball,
whole
bro.
point is this man has always been busy, and therefore at the time, you have to take into consideration that he decided he was ending Dragon Ball Z in like 95 or some shit like that.
See, but that was his biggest fuck up.
No, well, listen, he wanted to do it because he was working nonstop. That's the point. He was working nonstop from the 80s till 95, doing Dragon Ball Z, in addition to all the other stuff. Okay? And then after he made the decision, I'm wrapping things up. Toei was like, we want to continue it because it's so fucking good and popular. People love it. And they decided to go the GT route. And all of this shit, the character designs, the storylines that were approved, all Toriyama. Like, even if he didn't write the storylines, think about it. My man already is tired. He's still working on things. He's not going to tell them no. Especially if they're in the reins, if they're doing it and he doesn't, like, literally he's like, listen, I'm done here, but if y'all want to keep it going, have at it. Of course, you think he's gonna fucking critically look at this shit and be like, nah, don't. Dude, if that was the case, they would have, if that was the, look, think, all right, I'm gonna put this in perspective and this will make perfect sense, okay? He did not say anything super bad about Dragon Ball Evolution. Mans does not care enough. It happened. They made that shit. It was one of the worst anime live action adaptations in history. And that's probably one of the few that exist that give live action anime a bad name. And Toriyama, he said something along the lines of like, he's like, oh yeah, like they made some interesting choices. That's it. Interesting choices. Dude, he doesn't fucking like he cares,
Well,
but
oh my god. I mean, if he doesn't care, at least get somebody who could fucking storyboard correctly.
well, that's why he has Toyotaro now.
Like it's crazy. Bro.
He needs more people like that. He needs young Gigi. This is what we talked about last week.
As far as storyboarding goes, that's one thing. But then it's like the production and marketing as far as like.
Oh, that's Toei. That's not on him.
Like, bro, like you gotta get that shit right.
That's not his department. But funny enough, they go hand in hand together.
Is he still
clearly.
working on other shit, Toriyama?
Well, yeah. I mean, because
Like, what is he doing?
He still
What's he? What,
Dragon Quest is still a thing. They still have games, right? They have like 12 now, or 13, I don't know, something like that. And I don't know what else he's been doing, but also keep in mind that Toriyama is like a hermit. This man literally stays in the house. He does not do appearances. He doesn't. So take that into consideration with everything I just said. He's not gonna bother. He's gonna be like, oh, okay, like that's what y'all want to do? Okay. Like Iyoku pulls up. He goes, hey, I think you should consider giving us a story about a character that we did in a movie years back because he's so popular, aka Broly. Okay. He has a ever-flowing like
I'm gonna just knock on his door and tell him to bring Black back because he shouldn't have written him out, and he'll just be like, okay.
All you got, go to Iyoku and tell Iyoku to tell him. That's all you gotta do. That's literally all you gotta do. This man will fucking convince Toriyama to do whatever. Be like, you know what? I really think you should consider making Trunks' hair orange next fucking time, right? Okay. That's Toriyama right there. Okay. Sure. Now you want to go? All right. Simple.
I don't know, bro.
That's how it is, man. That's unfortunate, but that's how it is. So that was like an interesting part of the whole like I gotta finish watching that video. It's a great video from Geekdom, obviously, but like and the last thing I want to say, GT was originally supposed to take place where Super is now. That I did not know.
Where Super is right now.
Originally, GT when they were in the conceptualization stages, Dragon Ball Super that we have right now, GT was supposed to be between that 10-year gap, and then they decided to make it take place after the end of Z. Fun fact, right? And look what we're getting now. Look what the fuck we're getting now. That's insane. Just thinking about that shit. You want to say anything else about any of this shit, Kai?
Nope.
We have enough time.
I'm about to do Patreon shoutouts right now. All right. So last week I played the jingle while I did it. So here we go.
Okay.
It's time for the Patreon shoutouts. Okay. All right, shoutouts to Jayante Sheridan. Shoutouts to Jarek Rivera. Shoutouts to Louis Barnett. Shoutouts to Mark Wesley. Shoutouts to Soul Awakens.
Yeah. We need like bells.
I agree.
Like you know what I'm talking about?
The gong.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the man from the land of the rising sun. Juice. Shout outs to our boy. Thank you guys for, of course, supporting us on Patreon. So if you want to hear your name shouted out at the end of these episodes, feel free to hit us up over on the Patreon page as Full Power Podcast, link in the description below. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, business inquiries, or fan art, definitely submit those to fullpowerpod@gmail.com. That's fullpowerpod@gmail.com. And also sponsors, you know, because that would totally be nice and help us a lot. And Anata Ikara, the Bluebird. Hit us up on the Patreon page or the Twitter page. I said Patreon already. All right. Brother Uch, is there anything you want to leave for the people at home?
Stay fresh, stay clean. You know. Hopefully Dragon Ball doesn't fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
That's
True.
about it.
Big hopes, right? Kai, how about you, sir?
Oh, man, keep your hair colors in check.
Yo. Keep your hair colors in check. All right, well, thank you all for tuning in. It's been your boy, Uch, the lethal one, brother Uch, and the homie of all the Kais, Kai Kassan. Like, share, subscribe, hit us up. Full Power Podcast is coming at you pretty soon with a live episode because we're almost at 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Take care of yourselves. May the power take, keep it locked, loaded right here on this channel. Stay safe, stay clean, stay inside. We'll see you guys next time.